Here's an interesting one. Robert Snodgrass. This is, as I've said in the Jack Wilshere video, some are easier than others. And this is a difficult one. I've probably spent the last couple of minutes thinking about it, and I keep changing my mind. Okay, so let's look at the good first. Let's look at the good. Set pieces are magnificent. I mean, really good free kicks, really good corners. Up until the point he got injured, he was the best assist getter. Is that a phrase? He was the best assist getter at West Ham, and also think you've got to really praise how hard he works. Pushed out onto the wing too much, yes, but I think that is because he can cross and his delivery is so good, but not quick enough to be a winger. But to say the good points, his dead piece delivery, his dead piece, that's a dead piece, his set piece delivery, his crossing and his work rate are excellent. Unfortunately, he's not got a pace to play out wide. So if you're going to play Snodgrass, he's going to have to play in the middle. Does he work hard? Yes. But unfortunately, I think his pace lets him down in the middle as well. I also think he doesn't have a trick, so he doesn't go past a player. But, as we've seen, sometimes when he pops up in the middle, he can still play the killer pass. He can still make something happen. Again, he's got some assists. So clearly there was still an effective player at Premier League level. I also think one of the biggest attributes Robert Snodgrass got is anybody that's seen any of his videos or heard him talk in an interview or anything like that is Snodgrass a character, a massive character. He's a funny guy. He's a good guy. You'd go and have a pint with Robert Snodgrass. Well, he probably doesn't drink. I don't know, but you know, he'd be a nice guy to spend a bit of time with. Good guy, and that has a massive influence on the team. By the way, to have those sort of characters in your dressing room lifts the place. Again, I spoke in the Wilshere video about Paolo Di Canio. Character's really important. When I spoke about Paolo Di Canio, I said that you speak to a lot of the squad around him. At that time, if Paolo Di Canio was down, then it dropped the mood of the whole squad. If Paolo Di Canio was up, it lifted the mood of the whole squad. But I think very much people were going in there thinking, oh, what mood is Paolo in today? That's never good. That's never good. Being around moody people is never, ever good in the workplace, particularly when they're unpredictable. I like to think someone like Robert Snodgrass, you look forward probably to going into work and seeing Robert Snodgrass because he's probably going to be having a laugh, he's probably going to have a joke, he's probably very nice, and we know he's nice, we know he's a good guy. The place is a happier working environment for having Robert Snodgrass in it. Lots of reasons to retain him, and the more I speak, the more I convince myself that he should stay and remain part of the squad. And perhaps he should. I'm making this up as I go along, clearly. The downsides. If we're looking to build for the future, Robert Snodgrass, sorry, my tummy was rumbling into. I bet my microphone didn't pick that up. If it didn't, I've just told you anyway, so it don't matter. If we're building to go forwards, are we basically going backwards by keeping Robert Snodgrass and involving him in the team? I've got a question, and I don't know the answer to it, and none of us will know the answer to it apart from David Moyes. Old McMoist, as far as I know, is not watching these videos, so he can't tell me. But my question, Davy boy, old Moisey, would be to you, would you have played Robert Snodgrass in the run-in after lockdown if he'd have been fit? That I'd like to know. I have a suspicion. Here's this. I have a suspicion that Snodgrass would have played in that Mark Noble role. I do. I can't help it. He wouldn't have got away with Bowen's going, clearly. Maybe he'd have played him on the left, but I don't think so, because maybe he would have done for his work rate. I don't know. As I say, I'm making this up as I go along. But I suspect Snodgrass would have been involved in the running. If I then project that theory forward, would Snodgrass feature next season under Moyes? I think he might. But I don't want him to. But is that my bias against it? Because actually, if you look at the work rate, you look at the fantastic character he's got, fantastic set pieces, all the assists. Why would I not want him involved in the team? What's keeping me back? What's at the back of my mind? Is it just because it's his age? Well, I guess if he's whatever he is, 32, 33, if he's running around as well as ever, why should I be bothered about that? I just feel it's not the team progressing. And I think I look at it and I think I don't want to see us starting Premier League games next season, well, with a couple of players actually, but Robert Snodgrass would be one of them. No, I'm not saying we go out and actively try and sell Robert Snodgrass. But actually, I think we're more likely to sell Robert Snodgrass than we are Jack Wilshere, for instance, because I do think, I guess by the time this video is released, maybe we'll know who's promoted. I don't know. But I guess there are teams who, maybe even in the Championship as well, who Robert Snodgrass will do an excellent job for. Maybe a Premier League team is struggling to stay up, like West Ham, of course. There might be, you know, some interest in Robert Snodgrass that wouldn't be for Jack Wilshere. So maybe the decision will be made for us. Not, I think we'll get a big bid for him. Maybe it's his lack of pace, because as I've been like a scratch record for years, I think we need more pace in the team. I like Bowen. We've not done the Bowen video yet, have we? But I really like him. You know, he's going to get a really, really rave review, but he's not monstrously quick. Okay, he's not Usain Bolt, is he? And I do think we need a Usain Bolt, not the Usain Bolt, obviously, as I've seen him play football. It ain't clever, but we need a Usain Bolt in the team. We need another fast guy in there. I just see the inclusion of Snodgrass bringing the average pace of the team down. Look, it's pointless me talking for another 4 or 5 minutes on Robert Snodgrass, because I'm not totally certain. So what does the future hold for Robert Snodgrass as a professional footballer? I think it holds quite a lot. I think he's got a lot to offer someone. If he does remain at West Ham, I'd like it to be as one of those bench players. And let's be fair, there's going to be a lot of bench players next season, because as I understand it, they're keeping the rules the same with lots of numerous substitutions. I'm undecided really, aren't I? That's why it's a bit of a... As I say, some of these videos I'm very sure. Antonio, keep, you know. Diop, keep. Fredericks, sell. Some of them I'm very sure about. Some of them are harder. And I bet there's different comments here. I bet everybody on the comments underneath is not saying the same thing. As a squad, let me make a decision. As a squad member, yes. Somebody to be around the training ground and cajole and help everybody out, yes. As somebody to come on as a specialist set piece taker, if we're chasing a game with all the big lads are in the middle and we want to cross the ball over or something like that. Almost like you do in American football in gridiron, where the play stops and then you bring on the specialist kicker or something like that. Late in the game, if we've got 5 substitutions, then yes, probably a useful guy. I'm convincing myself now. Probably a useful guy to have around. I think if that's the case, actually, I've convinced myself, I've decided. As a substitute and a specialist, free kick taker, bear in mind we have... I mean, we've got a bench 9. We can bring 5 substitutions on. I have decided that we will keep Robert Snodgrass. It just took me a while to get there.